For today's lesson, we will be dealing about pharmacokinetics, pharmacodynamics, drug interactions, and lastly, on rights of medication and administration. It is essential that drugs are administered appropriately. Effects of their interaction with the body can happen in many ways and depends on their distinct properties. In the pharmaceutic phase, the drug becomes a solution. Why? To ensure rapid absorption. Think of this first drug action like catabolism. That is, a drug is broken down into smaller particles. Approximately 80% of drugs are taken by mouth, while there are those already in solution. But think again that in between, liquid form is more rapidly available for absorption than our solids. It is best to consider the drug solubility and stability, that is, will it break down and dissolve readily? The body is made up of a large amount of water, and with your cells made up of a phospholipid layer. Highly lipid-soluble drug can cross or pass through far more readily. Also, generally, a drug is absorbed faster in acidic fluids. Always check the label, especially with enteric-coated drug. Such resist to break down in the gastric acid of the stomach. Its action may be delayed for a long time, not until it reaches the alkaline environment of the small intestine. There are some drugs though that irritate or upset the lining of stomach, that dilution is necessary. Dissect the word kinetics, then we'll get an idea that pharmacokinetics is about movement, the way in which drugs move through the body. And always remember about ADME, this acronym of absorption, distribution, metabolism, and excretion, the proper order for pharmacokinetics. It's also by having knowledge about pharmacokinetics that we can assess for possible drug effects. Absorption. This is about how the drug transport system at the site of interaction. How would it pass through the cell membrane? With passive absorption that occurs mostly. Remember that the cell membrane is selectively permeable. Thus, it regulates the in and out in the cell. As it is a bilayer of lipids, lipo in medical term meaning fat, and protein, so lipid-soluble drugs are absorbed faster. Again, for emphasis, lipid-soluble drugs are absorbed faster. Most oral drugs are absorbed in the small intestine by the presence of extensive villi. Absorption is hampered as a result from poor blood flow, pain, and even stress. Most drugs given orally are affected by first-pass effect. As such, drugs enter into the bloodstream. It proceeds directly into the liver to be largely destroyed before it will enter the general systemic circulation. Drugs that are not given orally do not pass through this process. For the oral route of drug administration, the percentage of the administered drug dose that reaches the systemic circulation is of only 20 to 40%. So, to obtain the desired drug effect, the oral dose could be higher. The body is uniquely created as drug can be reabsorbed back into circulation. but its role in fate of drugs would mean to persist in the body for long periods of time. Distribution. So from the bloodstream, now the drug must become available into the tissues of the body. Drug distribution is influenced by the following. There should be better blood flow, greater surface area, such as previously discussed about the intestine, which is an ideal target, and in addition, muscles have more blood vessels than subcutaneous tissue. Permeability of binding that only unbound drugs can cause pharmacologic effect or response. So not only do we ask all female patients prior to a radiologic exam for the purpose of radiation protection, but especially when contrast media is involved, that effective management to adverse effect should be established. Metabolism or biotransformation. Most drugs must pass through the liver, which is the primary site for drug metabolism, where enzymes speed up the process. And for what reason? To make the drug easier to excrete. Excretion or elimination. Which system of the body could you think right away which primarily does this function? Correct. The urinary, particularly in the kidneys. And also, there are other outlets too. Half-life is the same concept in radioactivity, that is, in application for this subject, half the initial dose of medicine administered to be eliminated from the body. Clearance rate, consider in here about the creatinine clearance, for it is a direct measure of renal function. Pharmacodynamics, this time, will describe as what a drug does to the body, which is the underlying principle in pharmacodynamics, the biochemical and physiological effect of drugs and their mechanisms of action. Drugs have what is termed an affinity, that is, a measure, a measure of how well they can bind to a target site, and the tighter the bond, the better the drug action. Efficacy is inherent property of the drug, which refers to its ability to produce its biological effect. Thus, affinity gets the drug bound to a target site, and efficacy determines what happens once the drug is absorbed. Now, drug can either be an antagonist, an agonist, or an antagonist. An agonist binds and produces an effect within the cell, while an antagonist may bind to the same target but has the opposite effect of the agonist. Therapeutic index, or in abbreviation TI, serves as the margin of safety that the dosage of drug would result between the desired and unwanted side effects. So in general, higher TI is the safest. Now, when drugs are given in combination, their effects can be in the following. Additive, addition, or summation. Think of this like a superhero and a sidekick. For synergistic, it would be like pairing two really strong superheroes. Individually, they are both strong, but together, their powers are overwhelming. Now, this action would be like combining a superhero with its nemesis, that is for antagonistic. So the rationale of learning those mechanisms lies herein. And lastly, meticulous attention to the succeeding rites of medication administration will facilitate safety in minimizing risk for adverse consequences. And that's the end for our topic.